Hi everyone! Today we're going to take a look at the best laptops for working from home in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 10 best picks, and we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a laptops for working from home. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have LG Gram 169 type. The LG Gram is one of the most exciting laptops in 2022. The mix of performance, design, and portability makes it a top choice for anyone looking to get a laptop for home use. Previous models of the LG haven't been as well balanced, so if you passed one over in the last couple of years, it's definitely worth revisiting. The biggest selling point for the LG is its slim, high-quality, and lightweight design. The 16-inch model we're looking at for this review, the 169 type, is only 0.66 inches, 16.7 thick, and weighs a mere 2.62 pounds, 1.19 kg, making it one of the most portable 16 laptops on the market. The small size and lightweight will make it an excellent choice for people who don't have a lot of room for a workstation in their home or apartment. It's also a great choice for people who are working remotely but still need to travel for work or commute into the office a few times a month. It's rare that you'll see something this light and portable also have a good display, let alone one as excellent as the LG Gram 16. It's a 16:10 aspect ratio, so you get more space for work, whether that's viewing reports, editing images, or coding. There will be some letterboxing if you use it to watch movies during your downtime, but that's a fairly minor issue. In a 16:9 resolution, this would be a QHD display, but because of the extra vertical space, it's the somewhat more jumbled WQXGA 2560-1600, creating an incredibly sharp viewing experience. The color accuracy is also excellent, with a 99% sRGB and 99% DCI-P3 coverage, so creative professionals like photo or video editors will get a lot of use from it. The only minor downside to the display is brightness, which maxes at 270 nits, meaning it can be harder to work in rooms with a lot of natural light. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Razer Blade 15 Studio Edition. If you've spent more than 5 minutes researching laptops, you're probably aware that Razer is a gaming brand and a fairly high-end one at that. And so, it might be a little surprising to see a high-ticket gaming brand in a roundup of the best work-from-home laptops. The Razer Blade 15 Studio Edition fills one specific niche, and it's one that's not going to be served by most of the other options on this list: creative professionals. Specifically, people who work heavily with video. Most laptops, and virtually all non-gaming laptops, don't have a dedicated GPU. This means they are drawing power from the CPU to process images and video. For most applications, including photo editing and light gaming, this is fine. However, if you're animating or editing for videos, you need something with a lot more graphics processing power. The Blade 15 Studio Edition comes equipped with the NVIDIA Quadro RTX 5000, a GPU with benchmarks similar to the 3070, but with some slightly different balancing that makes it more suited for professional use. In addition, you get an 8-core i7 processor and 32 GB of RAM to drive performance during even the most demanding tasks. The 1 hard drive means you'll have plenty of space to manage quickly access files, though obviously external backups remain a necessity. Now, the display is one of the best we've seen on a laptop, with a fork resolution 3800 for text 1160, one's response time, and 99% sRGB/100% DCI-P3 accuracy. That means perfectly accurate colors which can directly compete with the best professional monitors on the market today. The number 3 position is held by ASUS ZenBook Pro Duo 15. The ASUS ZenBook Pro Duo 15 is probably the most visually striking laptop available in 2022, and the addition of a second touchscreen in what is usually the empty/unused space around the keyboard adds a ton of functionality. And on top of that, it's been implemented carefully enough, and the laptop as a whole has been loaded with enough power to make this more than just a gimmick. The entire review could just be about all the things that the second screen will allow you to do. It has the functionality of a full second display, so you can use it to take notes or transcribe as you're watching a video or do data entry across different platforms. In addition, there are media modes built in, allowing you to have your music or video displayed on the secondary screen where you can easily access and control them without switching away from your main work. There are even toolbar modes that will complement design programs like Photoshop or PowerDirect, allowing more space for the actual media you're editing while still having full access to your tools. In addition, the main display is fantastic as well. It's a UD 3800 for textual 1160 touchscreen with 100% DCI-P3 and 133% sRGB coverage. The secondary panel has a matte finish, so it won't be reflecting on your main display either. Plus, the max 400 nit brightness means that you'll be able to work in virtually all lighting conditions. Next at number 4, we have 2021 Apple MacBook Pro. Despite a massive ride or die fanbase, Apple's lineup in any given year is limited to a small handful of options. For that reason, picking the MacBook, you won't usually come down to picking the one in an appropriate pricing tier. This year, the best balance between price and performance is the 14-inch MacBook Pro. If you've been a fan of the MacBook in the past, the 2021 model is going to be the same experience you've enjoyed in the past, just with a few hardware upgrades to make it an even faster and more responsive machine. A big part of what's kept Apple on top for so long is display quality, and the 2021 MacBook Pro continues the tradition. It's equipped with a 3024x1964 LCD display with a slightly non-standard aspect ratio of 1.55:1. As a result, you're getting more vertical space than you would in a 16:10, but it's still more rectangular than antiquated feeling 3:2. On top of that, the display provides an impressive 254 ppi pixels per inch and has a max brightness of 1000 nits. This makes it the only laptop on our list that you can reliably use outside in a bright environment. Additionally, the laptop features a 1080p webcam, which puts it in rare company, especially at this price point. In terms of hardware, the MacBook comes with proprietary components, so if you're shopping between a Mac and a Windows laptop, it might be hard to make a one-to-one comparison without going into super close detail on all fronts. The design, instruction, performance all hit super high marks, and it's sure to be just as exciting for content creators as for casual users. The first thing you'll notice is that the Spectre X360 is incredibly stylish looking. The matte black case with rose gold accents makes this an instant standout. You're probably not going to be able to walk around with it in tablet mode, at least not very easily, since it's 0.7 inches, 17.8 thick, and weighs 4.5 pounds, 2 kg. Switching to tablet mode when you're sitting down though gives you a ton of control and input on a gorgeous screen. The X360 comes with a 15-inch UD/fork, 3800 for textual 1160 screen with up to 400 nits of brightness is a 99% sRGB coverage. The relatively large screen and a high-quality display are going to be perfect for content creators, but also make casual use and basic work extremely enjoyable. Additionally, the laptop has a 5-megapixel camera, putting it well beyond most laptops in terms of video capability. The number 6 position is dominated by Lenovo Legion 5. Lenovo is the default choice for a lot of offices thanks to their no-frills, performance-focused designs. For this list, we're looking at something a bit more advanced, the Lenovo Legion 5, which is technically part of their gaming lineup. That's going to make it a bit more expensive than the average laptop, but it's going to be the best price on a laptop that can do virtually anything. Construction-wise, the Legion 5 is quite bulky at 0.89 inches, 22.6 mm thick, and 5.29 pounds, 2.4 kgs. It's made of plastic, so you get a bit of flex from some parts, especially the lid, how the hinges are sturdy, and the keyboard and trackpad remain firm, and give the right amount of feedback during use. It just feels too big to break, even if it's not machined as carefully as you might be used to seeing from gaming laptops. This is common for Lenovo, and a lot of that space is going to loud but efficient cooling. It'll take up a bit more space on your workstation than some laptops, and if you plan on taking it with you when you go back to the office. Another thing that's common for Lenovo is packing in a lot more performance than you'd expect from the price tag. With this model of the Legion 5, you get an 8-core Ryzen 7, a 3050 Ti GPU, 16 of RAM, and a 512GB SSD. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Lenovo IdeaPad 1. If you're in a pinch and need to replace your work from home computer ASAP, or just need something that can do email and video conferencing, then this list so far hasn't really been for you. The Lenovo IdeaPad 1 changes that. It's a functional but extremely stripped down and affordable option for anyone who finds themselves working from home, but not needing something they can also game or process video. The IdeaPad 1 feels sturdier overall than the larger Legion 5 and is quite a bit slimmer, though it could be lighter considering how little has gone into this machine. It's 0.7 inches, 17.8 thick, and weighs a hair over 3 pounds, 1.4. It doesn't have a ton of processing power, so overheating is never really going to be an issue, since this is a 14-inch laptop. You don't have a lot of space for the keyboard or trackpad and can feel a little bit cramped if you're used to a full-size keyboard/mouse combination. On top of that, the keyboard doesn't have a lot of feedback or travel space, and it is completely without backlighting. None of this is a surprise at this price point, but can make typing slower and more prone to typos. Inside you have a dual-core Intel Celeron processor and 4 GB of RAM, which is enough to handle browsing, word processing, and some light multitasking, though you'll notice major lag if you have too many tabs or programs open. The onboard memory of 64 GB is also not going to handle much more than saving Word documents and spreadsheets. The number 8 position is held by Acer Aspire 5. If you need a little more than what's offered by the IdeaPad, then consider the Acer Aspire 5. It's more expensive, but still set at a very attainable price point and has a lot more functionality. The extra flexibility and the lower price point make this an excellent choice for elementary and high school students who are stuck taking classes from home. This endorsement isn't coming out of nowhere. The Acer Aspire 5 is the best-selling laptop last year and is getting positive reviews all around the internet. It's a slim laptop, 0.71 inches, 18 thick, but on the heavier side at 3.97 pounds, 1.8 kg. There's a bit more flex in the trackpad and keys than we like to see, but unless you or your student is going to spend huge chunks of their day writing or doing some form of data entry, it's not a deal breaker. The case itself is solid and hefty, meaning that it will stand up to the bumps and drops that a younger user might subject it to. When it comes to performance, the Aspire 5 comes with a much quicker processor than expected. The quad-core Ryzen 3 is going to unlock a ton more multitasking potential than the dual-core processor of the IdeaPad, and give you much quicker response times across all programs. Part of the reason Acer focused on the processor so much is so that the laptop could make use of any aftermarket upgrades you choose to make. The Acer 5 doesn't ship with a lot of RAM, 4 or a very large SSD, 128, but both can be upgraded cheaply and easily. Next at number 9, we have Acer Enduro N3. The seemingly inescapable drawback of laptops is that at the end of the day, they're a bunch of expensive, finely calibrated parts crammed into a case that can be dropped almost as easily as they can be picked up. With remote work and remote schooling becoming the new reality, many households are needing to share computers. That means that a laptop can change hands multiple times a day. And those hands are often clumsy child hands that can render hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of tech worthless in a matter of seconds. Enter the Acer Enduro N3, a laptop designed to be resistant to falls, shocks, and even spills. The Enduro N3 looks the part. It's a very bulky laptop, 0.98 inches or 24.9 in thick and 4.38 pounds, 1.99 kg. The heaviest and thickest you're going to find for a 14-inch laptop this generation. The ports are concealed by flip covers to prevent moisture or grit and other particles to get inside. And the cooling fan can also function as a pump to force moisture out of the interior if something goes horribly wrong with snack time or your morning coffee. On top of that, the screen is secured behind a panel of Gorilla Glass for added safety. This laptop will survive being dropped off a roof, never mind the kitchen table. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Microsoft Surface Laptop 4. Microsoft Surface series of laptops are pretty clearly designed as a direct competitor to Apple's MacBook series. There's always going to be a pretty big amount of brand loyalty involved in how successful you think that attempt was. But it shouldn't be too controversial to say that with the Surface Laptop 4, Microsoft has at least put themselves in the area. If you like but aren't fully committed to the MacBook aesthetic, the Surface 4 does a credible job at replicating it. It's extremely thin, 0.58 inches / 14.7 and only 3.4 pounds, 1.54, making it thinner but not lighter than the incredibly compact LG Gram at the top of our list. Furthermore, the Surface 4 has a bright, high-resolution display The 97% sRGB coverage and 420 nit brightness make it a feasible option for design and photo editing, but the internal specs are a bit weaker than you probably want for video editing. The 15-inch screen has a 2496 on 1664, which is a 3:2 aspect ratio, even on a display this sharp. It takes a bit of getting used to since it feels like a slightly outdated aspect ratio, an effect that isn't helped by the rather large bezel around the edge of the screen. However, it does give you plenty of high-quality workspaces. Further, for 2022, Microsoft enabled customization of all its Surface models with either Intel or AMD CPUs. The model we're looking at for this review uses an 8-core Ryzen 7 4980U processor. It doesn't have a dedicated GPU, a fact that is somewhat mitigated by the extra cores in the processor, but that definitely puts it behind the MacBook for serious creative work. You also get 8 GB of RAM and a 512GB SSD, which isn't bad, but also feels low for the price tag. That's all for today. We upload computer and accessories product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.